Good morning, everybody. Ezel Senpai here. Welcome to the first episode of Coffee with Senpai. I'm forcing myself to make more content, so I hope you guys can enjoy this kind of laid back news chat thing, whatever. I figure we'll probably do this on Tuesday mornings because that's when the news comes out, and I can kind of just summarize it. We can discuss it and just kind of have fun with it. All right. So I'm hearing music. You guys aren't. That will be edited in later because YouTube's copy strike is just so okay. So again, welcome to Coffee with Senpai. I've got my coffee. We're good. Ah yes, Bruce gets buffed even more. Yes, but also kinda. I don't think Bruce gets. Well, okay, Bruce gets buffed by the new support coming out, but it also gets buffed by everybody else not gonna be able to play 12 crit. Which leads me into the first bit of news we're gonna talk about. Let's go ahead and get that going. We got a Fighters Rule update for standard format. So this is interesting. Can't get set out of turn 3. That's true. So, it's very interesting they added this particular rule in Overdress to start with, but at least it's something that needed to be done, right? I mean, just this past week, Bruce has just been everywhere. It's too powerful. It's too strong, So basically what this does is, we'll go to the next one. So the trigger rule update. Now this only applies for premium, or this does not apply to V premium or premium. This is solely Overdress, solely for standard. You're only allowed to have up to 8 copies of each of the above types. It was response to the, yeah, pretty much. So you can't play 11 crits, 12 crits. You can't play 12 draw somehow. You can't play 12 fronts, sadly. So 8 of each of these types. And I've got mixed feelings about it. I think in the short term, it's a good idea. Just because we don't want Bruce to have 11 crits. Although I don't even think Bruce needs it, if I'm being completely honest. But they should have waited. Oh, I don't even have a chat box going in this. Oh no, I didn't put a chat box in this. I knew it. So this is again, this is just the first episode. I'll have to add a chat box. Let's add one real quick. I guess we can put it right here. I can just. Can I move this? Unlock. Okay. No. Okay. We'll keep that here for right now. Lock that. These pictures. We will just. I forgot to add a chat box. I can't believe it. It's going to be a small chat box. We'll see how that works. Lock. So now let's go test. There we go. Okay. So that works now. I wasn't planning to have a chat box in this one, but it's fine. Again, this is just episode 1. It's the pilot. Of course we're going to make mistakes. So, anyways, where was I? They should have just waited to see, then hit, unrelease it, then hit the triggers again if it's an issue. I agree. I do agree with that. I get it, and at least we have communication about it, right? Like, I need to add that image here too. Darn it! I'll add it in later. I'll do it now. So, well, let me finish this and then I'll add it in. Okay. So again, you're only allowed to play 8 crits, or 8 draw, or 8 front, or a mix of all of them. At most, you're gonna play 8 crits. You can't go 9. You can't go 11. You can't go 12. And I feel like a lot of the 3 attack decks, like Zorga, Hexa Orb, I'd argue Phantom Blaster, probably could have used this extra crit to really equalize itself to Bruce. Not quite on the same scale, but the gap between Bruce and everything else would have been a little closer. Now it's a little more dramatic, a bit more far apart than it should. So again, I think in the short term, this is an okay fix, but I do think that in the long run, I think this will get changed later. I called up my friend who I talked about in the last video. He actually watched the last one, and he was like, "Yeah, you're pretty salty about the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, dude." And he was like, "You're talking crap about me." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I would never do that live or in content, because that's not professional." Okay, so the last thing is the note to premium. Let's move that a little. Oop. No, that didn't move. There we go. Oh, because I have it locked. That's right. There we go. Okay. So that whole thing will take effect this Friday. Now, premium formats will be addressed next Tuesday and will go into effect October 1st. Now, kind of segueing back into what my friend was talking about, he was like, "I hope that trigger thingy applies to premium and V premium." I'm like, "No, I don't think it will." And I think they even stated that it won't, because it's not applied. So, I mean, we'll see. It's good that we have these confirmed dates. This makes it better than other games that I won't mention. So yeah, that's the news. And then we have another image. I need to go find it real quick. Let's see. Give me just a moment, because we're doing this on the fly. Alright, let's do this. It's probably small on the screen, or you'll be able to read it. It's just small on my screen. But basically, it's essentially an update to the producer's letter. Hello, this is Keita Mori, the Vanguard project's general producer. We can read it with our hearts. Aww. With your hearts. We announced the new updates to Fighters Rule with Standard today, that decks will only be able to include up to 8 traders of the same type for criticals, draws, and fronts. This update will take effect September 24th. I mentioned in the recent Producer's Letter, Volume 3, that the play environment for Standard was within our expectations, but our development team has been scrutinized and reviewing both the current play environment and the environment after the release of Advance of Intertwined Stars Set 3. As a result, although it is earlier than we expected, we added restrictions that we see as necessary this time. We deeply regret causing our users anxiety over this issue, and I sincerely apologize for it. In addition, the update to Fighter's Rule for Premium will be announced next week during the live stream on September 28th, next Tuesday. It will take effect October 1st, Friday. We will continue to work towards allowing our users to enjoy the game, and thank you for all your continued support for Vanguard. I like this. I like the fact that we have a head honcho coming out and saying, hey, here's what's up. We're sorry. Sorry. And, because you don't see that with other game companies. I mean, this is great. I have mixed feelings about this, because now it's like, hey, there's not really a lot of deck construction, and I think a couple of other YouTubers have already talked about, or content creators, talked about how this is going to hit more decks. It hurts everything that isn't Bruce. And I guess Bastion to an extent. But I think maybe in the long run, this might be good. And maybe, again, this will probably get changed in the future. It's interesting. It's very interesting, to say in the least. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much that. So that's the news. That is the news. Oh, nope, there we go. Run layer. There we go. So yeah, that's the news. That is the news. I had originally planned for these, this little series, I guess, podcast, whatever you want to call it, to be about, an hour-long hi from the hospital. No bad news. Just, oh, good. Okay. Give me a, oof. It is sad that it is next week, that we really only have 3 days to really process it, instead of it being today where we have over a week to process it. But maybe, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not ideal, but what more can we ask for? I think, because again, standard is their bread and butter at the moment, and I think that it needs to be given its own sort of attention, and then premium can be addressed next week. It's fine. It's fine. But fine. I was ready to duck build and theory craft, but here we are. I think this should have been the norm since V began. Every time I hear about anything about more than 8 of the same trigger, it goes, hope it flips and crush your opponent. I remember when I was in Texas a few years back, one of my now good friends, he had joked around. He was like, just turn cards sideways and reveal yellow cards. That's how you That's how you play, right? that stuck with me. That kind of reminded me of that comment. I think that's interesting. So yeah, I've been live for about 18 minutes, and I've been recording for 20. I was originally planning for this to be like an hour, but yeah, that's the news. I can't think of anything else I want to talk about to last. I do want to keep this under an hour, so I guess we can keep talking. I mean, what do you guys want to talk about? 20-minute pilot, let's go. That's true. It is. I do have a few things I need to adjust. Like, if I do plan to do this, I need to have this set up to actually be a good chat box. Because, I mean, you can see the chat, but it's kind of like, it's hard to see the chat, because the background just blends in. So I need to adjust that soon. Again, I was actually planning to just use this as a YouTube only recording thing, where I can record it live, quote unquote live, and not have to worry about editing, I gotta make that content. I'm forcing myself to make the content, and it's good for me to make this content. I was told that they didn't do a V Premium ban list because they didn't want to lose sales from Clan Collection, but nothing from V Collection would be hit. I would argue that if you restrict some cards, the power level of the format goes down and makes Clan Collection more worth it. So I felt like that was a W Slasher video, and he mentioned that, and I understand. Now, to be fair, they could mention V Premium next week. They could. They absolutely could, because obviously they're listening to us. They're hearing us. They are, they have an ear for us. So it's very possible they could hit something in V Premium. Maybe. I think the only thing, different if I mentioned it. Oh, not W Slasher. Oh, okay. I would tap Prisms and Rose a bit. I think it's more the psychology side effect of banning stuff. If you shake the format right after a release, it'll make people shy away from it. Yeah, that's true. But V dodging ban list like Gastile. Who knows? Who knows? Next week his time might be up. Or he'll go to 1. He'll get hit, just he'll live. Gastile will literally be that meme where it's like, I just got this message from Gastile, and it says, I lived. Plus, really, you only need to choice restrict at most, not ban. Exactly. For V, yeah, just choice restrict. The one I've been hearing is choice restricting Prism Vare with Lieselot, and I think that makes sense. Some hits need to make Clan Collection shine, though. Yeah. Again, I think that previous choice restriction made sense, because Bermuda is just ban Lieselot at this point. I mean, you can, but I don't know if that would be worth it. I think the simple choice restrict would make sense, because Prism's just very strong, and Lieselot choice restricting with Vare would kind of reduce that deck's consistency. It still would be strong, but it wouldn't be as strong. That makes sense. No, Lisa isn't even busted. That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm saying only. Yeah, choice restrict for Vare and Vare and Lieselot. That's it. That's all I see. Fish Nero. They've openly said that cards in VPT 12 was not tested together, and then see on the Hamiel. Oh, look, it's VPT 12. That's true. It was big when Melody was top dog, and it went to sleep during Revier. Yeah, because it was the whole thing with Sonata, if I remember correctly, and it made sense. That was when the game was slower and didn't have enough defensive options, and it's back at full force Prism. So again, I think if you choice restrict Vare with Lieselot, I think the power of Prism will drop down a little bit, but that little bit could just be enough for it to be, kind of like the analogy I used with Bruce and everything else in Standard, where the gap is where it is, where it's a big gap now, but if we were allowed to play 12 crits, that gap would close just a little bit. We are faster and Guardians. Just call the heal guard early game. Easy. So I mean that's one thing. That's one thing, and that's cool. But we'll see. Prism power will drop down, yes, but Lieselot already shown it causes problems. Simplify the problem. Would be fair from. Yeah, no, from. Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, you know, again, we'll see. Let's not argue it anymore. You know, if you're banning lease lot or choice restricting lease lot, you know, that's. I think a choice restrict is fine. Because then we do have the options. Yeah, lease lot has caused problems before, but we have answers to it now. It's just that it's causing, because of VAR, it's causing some interactions. No, because Heal Guardians exist now. No, they extort now. They extort now. Again, we'll just see what happens. But if V Premium doesn't get hit, then you play Black White to deal damage, heal damage. Broken. VW. I'm assuming Black White. Besides that, apparently, Toronto Overlord is out of the meta. Because of Heal Guardians. Yeah. Well, I think it's slowed down. Because that is an option. Magic the Gathering has a mechanic called Extra. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's great. I didn't know that. Yeah. Which allows you to pay black or white mana to deal and heal. Oh. That is kind of cool. You know, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I learned something new today. Oh, they didn't talk about the VR limit. So I don't think they need to talk about the VR limit right now. If they mention it next week, cool. But I don't think they need to talk about it right now. I do feel that they should reprint older VRs. So the VR limit is it's not really a limit. It's a quote unquote time protection, kind of like a copyright, ironically, where they say they don't want to reprint VRs until 2023. This, I guess, is supposed to show good faith in with the card shops that, hey, we're not just gonna suddenly reprint VRs, you know, or do anything with the VRs at the moment, because we want them to retain their value. And, you know, if we were to reprint them suddenly, they would drop in value and the card shops would just be like, well, F this, you know. Kind of like the whole Nemain issue. When Nemains were $50 in Japan, and then they got choice restricted with Luard, and it just plummeted. They're just gonna rise the price of Night Rose. Yeah, probably. Like, if you haven't picked up Night Rose already, what is Night Rose running for? Let me check. Because since I've been playing Ghosties, I've been kind of thinking about branching out. But I'm starting to play Ghosties. Ghosties are still really cool. Night Rose. $12. That's I mean, yeah, that's a little high up there, but I mean that's not too bad. I mean, I know most VRs are under a certain amount at the moment, but yeah, $12 US, that's not too bad. I'm sorry, but I'm a cheap no, I completely understand. I'm a cheap bastard too. It's a standard VR price. Yeah, pretty much. It's fine. I'd say save up, just pick them up. But I do think older VRs, like, for instance, Cecilia. You know, Cecilia is getting in the reverse form, so I think it made sense to reprint Cecilia. For Maelstrom Reverse, it made sense to reprint, you know, Bluestorm Dragon Maelstrom. Luthier Reverse, I think it made sense to reprint Luthier. For Ezel, let's reprint Blonde Ezel. Why not? You know, I mean, it did have an extra printing outside of VR, thanks to the Memoir of the Koshin arc, that promo set that was released during Kara Expo 2019. yeah, we can reprint it. I just think the older ones, like the ones from, I think VRs from VBT01 to VBT06 should be reprinted to a degree. Not going to lie, I hope they don't get reprinted on those V-Clan. The thing about it is we're getting 3 new cards and 4 reprints. So it's not like there isn't enough space to do so. I think they could. Some VRs, not all of them, but some. I just think some of the important ones, especially the ones that are getting reverse forms, like Himiko. I think the Himiko reprint would be fine. If they're old, so why not? I think that's safe, because you still have Gavriel, that's still new. I think everything before, all the VRs before VBT06, Phantasmal Steed Restoration, I think everything before that should probably get a reprint. Maybe not the Melody stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Melody that's over. Everyone bought it at a high price and it kind of stuck there. Yeah. It's only going to be stuck there until all the little Timmies try to undercut each other, trying to get rid of them. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I had one a long time ago and I sold it, and I'm glad I sold it for what I did. Then it dropped, but I'm like, I still wish I kept the one. Everyone bought it at a high price. Yeah, it's still there. I just read that. Good reading skills. Good soup. It's weird. I've already had my second cup of coffee, and I'm very tempted to go get my third. But we can wait on it. It's fine. This is coffee with Senpai, but do I really need a third cup? The answer is yes, but I'll do that later. So I'll say it one more time because I love to reiterate myself. VRs before Phantasmal Steed Restoration should be reprinted. One thing I hope to see for those V collections is VR triple rares from the last V. Yes, I think that would be a good idea too. Cards like Percival, for example. Like Percival definitely needs a reprint. It is a $10. Is it still $10? It is an expensive double rare, and if not, probably the most expensive card in that set. Let's find out. Let's do some research. Adlervale is $7. Yes, Adlervale is $7, but it is getting a reprint in Clan Collection Volume 1 and 2. So that's happening, and that's great. Adlervale needed a reprint, and it's good. Oh, I have my alerts paused. So let's pause alert queue. I don't have an alert box set up on this scene either. Okay, well, thank you, The Guardian 0202. Thanks for the follow. Why on earth is Percy that expensive? Because it's a rare card that can create Excel markers. I believe that's why. And understandably so. Thankfully, why is Gluckner 12? That one I'm not sure about. I think it's because it's used in combos. Hi there, how are you today? I'm good. I'm forcing myself to make content because I'm working through some issues. When you have a video gap of 8 months and you're only active on social media, that's just kind of, it's not good. It's not good. That doesn't create good face. Is there any Genesis Premium players in the US? I believe there are. Of course there are. I don't know them, but there are. They exist. Otherwise, the price wouldn't be what it is. Yeah, no. Percival is the lowest is $9 for the double rare, or $10. Excuse me. $9 with 99 cents shipping. Yeah, no, it's a generic gold paladin card that can create a rear guard, that can create an Excel circle while on rear guard. It doesn't have to be the Vanguard. So it is the most. It's like the best gold paladin support card. But yeah, it causes so many issues. That's why Gurgit can't have fun. Sadly. But yeah, Gleipnir being $12, I don't know about that. I actually have an extra playset of Gleipnirs I tried to sell to a vendor, and they're like, oh, we'll buy it for $2. And I'm like, but they're going for $13. Yeah, but we're going off recently sold. I think I'll hold on to them. I mean, it's their logic. It makes sense, but no. I'll hold on to it and sell it later when it actually starts selling for $12 to $13. How are your guys' local tournaments? Are your local shops open now? Because mine is. It's been open for a few months, and we've been having fun. We had a overdress on Yesent. Yesent. That's not good. When someone says Yesent, mine is. I just haven't been able to go. Okay, well, that's good. Well, at least it's open. Like my locals is open. We do overdress on Saturdays, and then we're trying to do V Premium on Mondays. It's weird, but it's nice. It's open, but the stuff is kind of awkward to go. How so? I know for our shop, there's still a good number of cases. Yeah, that's true. For our shop, they have a mask mandate in place, regardless if you're vaccinated or not. There was a close call a couple weeks ago where someone came in for 30 minutes, then got tested, and then told the shop, hey, I am positive. I was only in the shop for 30 minutes. So just as a precaution, we have that mandate in effect. And honestly, I'm fine with it. I'm fully vaccinated. My wife is a nurse, so I have to. It makes sense. But, yeah. They don't really support Vanguard, sadly. It's really small side thing they just started. And that's fine. It just takes a lot of dedication to get something going. And my country's being attacked by Delta variant. Yeah, a lot of places getting hit with Delta. Now I don't mean to sound preachy, and I do acknowledge I do have my own biases. I did have COVID last year, and it sucked. I don't want anybody to go through it. Although COVID affects people differently, just if you have the opportunity to get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. I understand there's people who have the religious beliefs and stuff like that, or existing medical conditions. I understand that. But if you're able to just go get vaccinated and no other issues, please don't do that. Pretty please. And to add to that, but at a more selfish level, the more people who get vaccinated and the quicker the numbers go down, we can go back to having physical regional events. And I really want to meme around for Team League. I already did my part. Real problem is the crazy guy. We have on its Well, you did your part. I'm proud of you. Good job. I remember I was posting a lot of vaccination memes yesterday. A friend of mine gave me a suggestion for like a meme idea, and I just ran with it. And somebody had replied that they're trying to get their vaccine, but when it was their turn, they got infected, and I guess their country's just running out of vaccines. And I'm like, and they feel like a failure. And I'm like, no, you tried. You went out and you tried. The fact that you put the effort to want to get vaccinated doesn't make you a failure in my eyes. Very proud. That's odd. Mine has no mask restrictions. Most of my state doesn't. I just can't. I came from Texas a few months ago, or last month. I don't know. I've been back for a little over a month. Back in July, I was in Texas, and they really didn't have a mask mandate at all. I still wore my mask because, numbers in Texas are high. So I'm like, it makes sense. It's like, oh, hey, high numbers of COVID, wear a mask, But you're vaccinated, you don't need to. No, I'm going to anyway because better safe than sorry. Now my shop, while California, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have a mask mandate, certain shops and businesses are able to still ask or require you to have a mask. And thankfully, a lot of these places do offer, if you come in, you don't have one, we can give you one. And I think wearing a mask just makes sense. Sorry, this really got off topic from card games. I read that. But going back to the shop doing Vanguard as a side thing, that's fine. As long as there's some consistency about it and it can grow. If there's room for growth, then perfect. Get your friends. Like my locals, again, Monday we're trying to do V Premium. I'm bored of Overdress at the moment. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just bored of it. And so we're playing V Premium on Mondays. And, that's... it's a small group. At most we had 10. Right now we're at 5. I'm going to try to bring in a friend or two next week. And probably the week after. I'm going to try to get him to consistently come out on Mondays. So we can just play, I believe in the philosophy that if there is an opportunity for something, people will show up. My group mainly plays Target Area Tabletop Simulator right now. Nice. So you have the resources at least. That's good. Branky cards waiting to me to sleeve them. Yeah, Branky's fun. I haven't really played a lot of it, but Branky's fun. I play Premium and Overdress. Nice. I'm glad to see that there are other Premium players out there. People thought we didn't exist, but we do. We were a dying breed, but now that we have Overdress and things and clans have, I'd like to say technically universal stuff. We have, since it's the nation system, every nation technically has a universal bit of support. Gas Steel, the format. One more week. Let's go. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do feel that Gas Steel will probably be hit to 1. And maybe have a choice restrict on it. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just this, the Yu-Gi-Oh logic. I'm stuck with it. That when you see what stuff is being printed or reprinted, you can kind of judge how they're gonna ban certain things. We do exist. I personally only play Premium for the G units, and that's understandable. That makes sense because a lot of the there are good units to. I do agree that SL should go to 0. I absolutely agree. But because it is getting reprinted, I do feel logically it would go to 1. I don't want it to go to 1. I want it at 0. But it is being reprinted, so it's kind of odd. It's an oddball. The strides are great. But V also has a lot of good power balances and shield balances. Excuse me. And just a lot of good main deck stuff. While Premium also has good units like grade 1s and grade 2s that are resource managements. Resource cards, so choice restriction, Gasteel grade 4 with every grade 3 Dart Hero healers and Dart states. Then it wouldn't be playable. I don't know. We'll see. They'll still sell their product, so it'll go to 1 or not be touched. I think it just needs to go to 1. I think that's, for right now, the best solution with that sort of logic in mind. And then maybe they could just choice restrict it. That's also on the table. We'll find out next week. We'll see. But it's just too good for its own good. It's too good for its own good. The real problem with it not being touched is that you can't hit anything else. It's, again, that's where the choice restriction would come in place. And yeah, Gasteel grade 4 is an issue. Demonos is an issue. You can't hit stands without nuking Gasteel. Maybe. So a lot of people, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I'm kind of don't agree with this. People want stand triggers to be changed of how they work, or even limit stand triggers to 4 per deck. And I understand the logic behind it. I do. But I think the biggest issue with stand triggers is literally just those 2 decks. The Vision Token stands and the Valkyrian stands. I do think that just choice restricting, Valkyrian and stand triggers makes sense. This is the easiest thing to do. Choice restricting Blademaster Soin with stand triggers makes sense. Now, if a Kadro player wants to play the Blademaster, the Vision Token restand, play the bad Blademaster. If you want to be deplorable, you play the bad one. I personally think that stand triggers are fine the way they are. I think so too. I just think that there are certain decks that do abuse it, and those need to be touched. I think stand triggers are fine. I want the same change to happen in standard to be valid for all. Yes and no. Yes and no. You can't play those stand flip decks with only. That's true. That is true. You can still, technically. It reduces the consistency, but at the same time, it's still an interaction that shouldn't happen. So I think instead of just errating the stand triggers, it's just a simple choice restrict. We choice restrict Valkyrian with the stand triggers, and we choice restrict Soin, Blademaster Soin with stand triggers. Then if you still want to play the Vision Token restand build, you have to play the bad version, which I think will make people not want to play it. And then if it becomes an issue, then we can go from there. But is it certain stand triggers in those decks, or is it stand triggers in general? Okay, so for Valkyrian and for Blademaster Soin, it is stand triggers in general, and they're playing 12 to 16 of them. Just because they can get the free restanding drive checks. So for those decks, just choice restrict stand triggers. If you play this, you can't play stands. There are other decks that do abuse stand triggers, like again, Genesis is a culprit here, but it's Taro that does their combos, and that needs to be addressed. That's one. Stand triggers in general for Kadro, and both general stands and specific stands. Yes. Choice restrict problem is features something a might. Now, I have faith in the new design team when it comes to new card design. We don't have the same team as we did for VBT 12. I don't know if they were the same team that designed Clan Selection 1 and 2. I don't know about that. But as far as I'm aware, they were the last one. The last set they did was the last Bermuda set. And since then, we've had better designed cards. Nothing that's problematic, but stuff that's fun. So that's what I think on that matter, is that stands should be addressed in some way, sure. But I think if they are, hit the ones that are actually abusing it. And then if it follows up more that more decks are abusing the stands, then sure, let's fix up the stands. But I think for the time being, choice restricting the culprits that are abusing it makes the most sense. And it's probably the easiest option too, right? Probably. We'll see. We will see. Alright, I think that'll do it for the pilot episode. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the links in the description below. There's social medias. Go follow me on Twitter and Facebook, because I post memes. I'm actually kind of funny, if you guys don't know that. What else? Oh, there are memes. Just all the memes. Let's go. I think the easiest option is the same one they did for standard, though. Yes, but I think that if you were to apply that to every format, that takes away from the deck building process. And the fact that we have so many triggers that do have card effects, would be very difficult to really just cut that down. Because you're essentially saying, hey, all those older triggers that have kind of good effects, don't bother with them. Just use the ones from Premium Collection. And then you got your Heal Guardians, and then it's like, well, okay, well, you got your fronts, and I don't think that works in V Premium and Premium. I don't think so. I think, yeah, that is a solution. But the decks that are abusing the stands will still play it at 8 stands. That slows them down, but it doesn't fix the problem. If that makes sense. We'll see. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, check out the links in the description below. You can use my promo code Senpai on checkout for Zero Damage Gaming to get a nice discount on a really cool playmat. Go check the shop out, it's cool. Really, whatever your purchase is from Zero Damage Gaming, use that code, get a nice discount. They have really cool merch as well. And then if you are ordering cards from 50 cards, you can use the same promo code to get yourself a nice discount on your pre-orders or just whatever. If you're ordering from there, you can use that same promo code. It applies. Go for it. The discount percentages may vary. And then I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining the stream or watching the video, and hope you guys have a nice day. Hope you guys enjoyed the pilot episode of Coffee with Senpai. We'll keep this up. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to edit this, and it'll be up, and we'll go from there. Alright, catch you guys next week. Remember to stay humble, stay safe, and please go get vaccinated. And if not, please go wear a mask. Alright, catch you guys next time. Peace.